Super Blood Hockey is a retro-style hockey game that gives off the feeling that you're playing the classic ice hockey game from the NES, with just a bit more blood and violence. Players have the option to choose from a handful of countries, including the United States and North Korea, which I'm sure wasn't done intentionally by the developers. You can take part in 3 different modes: Exhibition, Tournament, and Challenge. They're all pretty straightforward in what you would expect, with Exhibition and Tournament becoming standard for sports games like this. The Challenge mode allows you to unlock some custom setting sliders for use elsewhere throughout Super Blood Hockey. There's no season mode of any sort, so the closest you'll get to that is by tracking games and player stats manually, but that'll be pretty hard with no player names or numbers. Before loading into a game, you select what type of players you want on the ice, with the options being enforcers, playmakers, and snipers. After picking any combination of 4, it's finally time to drop the puck. The player models look really good for sprite art, but they look like they're simply walking as opposed to skating on the ice. Playing the game is simple enough though, as the controls are easy to understand with a button for passing, shooting, and checking. And for those that think the real game of hockey has become a little bit too soft, you'll be happy to know that there aren't any penalties in Super Blood Hockey, making it a free-for-all on the ice when it comes to hitting. From the refs to your own teammates, anyone can be clobbered on the ice, and the only players that'll put you in your place no matter what are the goaltenders. But if you go crazy with the hitting, you'll find yourself taking part in a full line brawl sooner than you think. With blood shooting out on the ice, you'll be throwing punches at whoever happens to be near you until only one team has players standing. And as a reward for your dominance, the team that lost the fight must play with a man down. That doesn't mean the player leaves the ice. Instead, he just suffers seizures for a little bit while the game continues on around him. But hitting and fighting isn't all that Super Blood Hockey's about. You also want to score to win the games, right? Shooting can be a bit difficult though, because of the need to aim every shot without really having much of a window to do so. Now, it's not a bad thing that you can't simply get shots off immediately wherever you want. However, when it takes as long as it does to power up a shot while aiming, fun can quickly be sucked out of the game. And speaking of fun, the game is much more enjoyable when playing with friends. It allows up to 4 players with local co-op, but Super Blood Hockey offers no sort of online multiplayer, which can be a turnoff for some players. But Super Blood Hockey does offer one of the best original soundtracks for an indie game. Classic 8-bit style tracks play behind every part of the game, with each one being catchier than the previous song. The music does a nice job of the games feeling more intense than they actually are. It would just be nice if there was more to do other than listening to some kick-ass music. Super Blood Hockey is a game that has its charm. From the great music to the generally fun gameplay, it's definitely worth giving it a look at such a low price. But unless you're playing with some friends, there's really not much worth coming back to after completing the challenges and playing in a tournament or 2. For more great sports gaming content, stick with sportsgamersonline.com.